Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and in this video, I'm going to do a review of King Arthur's Keto Wheat Pizza Crust. I have had a number of requests to try out this keto pizza crust mix, so let's get right into looking at the ingredients and macronutrients. For ingredients, we have vital wheat gluten, modified wheat starch, cellulose and psyllium fiber blend, whey protein concentrate, King Arthur unbleached flour, salt, and inactive yeast. So if you're doing strict clean keto, this is not that. Let's take a look at the nutritional information. Now this is going to be not exactly right because you're not just going to eat plain pizza crust, you're going to top it. Serving size is 1 slice, which would be, if there's 16 servings per container, 1/8 of a 12-inch pizza. That's a pretty small slice. So it says 80 calories, 4 grams of total fat, 8 grams of total carbohydrates, of which 7 are dietary fiber for a net 1, and 8 grams of protein. So last night my grandson and I made a couple of pizzas. In this next segment, you're going to see how we made them, and we're going to do the taste test. Now, the making is sort of a longer section, so I do have timestamps if you want to skip that, or you can always just speed up the video and kind of zip through at 1.5 times speed or 1.25 times speed. After the making of and the taste test, I will share my blood glucose response with you from eating 3 slices of this pizza last night, and give you some final thoughts. All right, do you want to call out the ingredients and then I'll hand them to you?
Yep.
Okay, so we're doing 2 crusts. What do we need?
Whole packet of yeast.
Okay, here you go.
Warm water.
Okay, got it.
Olive oil.
Okay, 4 tablespoons of olive oil. All right, full bag.
Full bag.
Okay. All right, now rather than us mixing it, we're gonna let the KitchenAid do it for us, and then I'm gonna raise it up, and then I'm gonna put you in charge of turning it on. Why don't you set it to about 3? And lots of times with the dough hook, what you need to do is scrape down the sides like this. See how I'm getting all the flour in there, buddy? Okay. Once it starts forming a ball, what'll happen is it'll just sort of peel off all the little extra cruddy stuff off the edge. Well, not cruddy stuff, I guess hopefully delicious stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you set it back to 3 for me? Is that 3?
Yeah.
Why don't you go 1 more notch? Okay, there we go. It's not quite pulling together the way I'd hoped. All right, what do you think? Does that look bouncy and firm?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm gonna do then is, I got this bowl over here that I coated with olive oil so that it doesn't stick. And we're gonna transfer this over.
For that?
Pardon me?
To blend it up?
No, then we let it sit and it rises up. That yeast starts to make air, like little air bubbles in here. So it puffs up and it gets bigger. Okay? And once we let this sit for an hour, then we'll roll out the crusts. All right?
Yep.
Look at how much this is puffed up.
Wow.
Yeah, quite a bit bigger, huh? Now I have no idea what this is going to be like working with. You know, I like to kind of touch it and see if it's going to be sticky or not. You want to poke at it? So back when I used to work at a pizza parlor, they had this big, it was like the big garbage cans outside that we would put all of our dough into. And when it would puff up, we'd punch it down. You want to punch it? And then it would deflate. See how it's deflating there? All right, I'm gonna get a knife and just kind of cut this, or maybe I can squeeze it, because I want to do 2 pizzas. Oh, it's pretty gluten-y. I think this is gonna be tricky to roll out. Are you gonna try and roll this out? You want to do this?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if you know what you're doing. All right, maybe this is a grandpa. Oh boy, this is not behaving at all like my dough. All right.
It doesn't want to be rolled over.
It certainly doesn't seem that way. It says, press dough into a 12-inch circle. So I guess we'll just try.
There we
Oh
go.
boy, keeps springing back. All of the techniques that I normally use when making a crust are they're not working because it just keeps springing back. So, Colton, you ever see like a guy spin a pizza?
No.
What do you think of that? Is that kind of cool?
Yeah.
Let's get it towards the edge here.
It's getting bigger. There you go.
Bugs watching?
Baby bugs.
Maybe bugs want
Okay.
to see.
Ooh.
All right, let's see now if I can spread this out a little bit better.
That's good.
Now it's working.
Grandma likes sausage and mushroom.
Good onion.
And you want some onion on there too?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So why don't which would you like to start with?
I'll start with the mushrooms.
Okay, you're gonna do mushrooms first?
Mhm.
All right. So back when I worked at the pizza parlor, one of the things that they said is every bite should be a tasty bite. So you like to make sure that any bite is gonna have a bunch of goodness on it, okay? But we also need to leave space for the sausage, because the other thing they used to say to me is, Steve, you're driving our food costs through the roof. Good job, right near the edge. You like to have a couple near the edge. It's funny, like a lot of people don't like eating the crusts. Do you like the edge, the crust edge?
Sometimes.
If it's good? Okay. Can I help?
Sure.
I'll do some and you do some. Just not because I don't think you'll do a good job, but just so that it goes a little bit faster. Because I'm getting hungry. How about you?
Yeah.
Is that enough onion, do you think, or a little more?
Yeah. I don't know.
I already grabbed some, so let's put a few more on. Okay?
Yeah.
All. And into the oven, 475 degrees on my baking steel. Kind of shooting for that Neapolitan crust. And then we'll make my pizza, which you can have some if you want. Oops, open an onion.
Wow, this is great.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to take that camera from you and make this my thumbnail. So just to show you what a serving is, this is my pizza. One serving. All right, so who's going first, you or me?
You.
Okay. I'm gonna have the pepperoni pizza. Let's see what it looks like on the underneath. Medium floppiness. I mean, it's a decent crust. It's not bad. It's not nearly as chewy as I thought. I thought it was going to be really, really chewy based on how the dough worked. You might have to loop back with me for my thoughts on this. Go ahead and see what you think.
Not that chewy.
You said not that chewy?
Mm-hmm.
But it's, well, I'll let you keep talking. Go ahead.
It's kind of good,
Yeah?
but the pepperoni is A little bit spicier than I thought, but I
Oh,
can
yeah.
handle it.
Okay, but what did you think of the crust? Maybe take a bite right off the corner there, where it's mostly crust, and see what you think.
Kind of crunchy. Good.
Is it as good as when Grandpa makes pizza?
Yeah.
Oh, that hurts. The correct answer would have been, no, Grandpa, you're the best.
I enjoyed this pizza crust. It's very good. It's not too chewy and it's not too crispy. It's perfect. I like it. It has good flavor. Yeah, it's really good.
Would you know that it's keto or supposedly keto?
No, I would not know it's keto.
Okay.
It doesn't taste keto.
All right.
So yeah, it's really good.
I've had a little bit of time to think about this. This is my third piece that I'm going on, and probably final piece. What this reminds me of is if Domino's made a pizza that wasn't as chewy. The crust didn't have that sort of pull to it. Texture, I like a little bit of tear. This doesn't have that. But those are all personal preferences. Overall, I would say this is a very serviceable crust. For the purpose of the glucose testing, I am wearing a Dexcom G7 continuous glucose monitor, and I'm using the Levels Health app to do a little bit more detailed analysis. So let's take a look at the results. A stable response. Only 12 milligrams per deciliter of glucose movement. That is kind of, honestly, I'm a little bit surprised, given the inclusion of the King Arthur wheat flour that's in there. So I'm a little bit surprised, but pleasantly so. I mean, the data is what the data is. Now, something I realized as I watched the taste testing video, I tend to be pretty critical when it comes to pizza crusts. I've got a long history with pizza, and really I was comparing this crust in retrospect to sort of my ideal non-keto crust. And when in this video I refer to my pizza or my crust, I'm talking about one of the variations of non-keto crusts that I make for my family. And that's really been the benchmark that I've used, perhaps unfairly, for keto crusts. As a keto crust, this is pretty respectable. Now, the issues that I had with it are mostly around making the dough. It was difficult to work with, and I don't know how much of that I brought on myself by trying to make it like the way I make normal pizza dough, so I am definitely going to experiment with this dough going forward, perhaps trying it in a food processor, or I don't know, I'll try a few different methods, but I definitely plan on playing with this mix more in the future. Another thing that I like about the King Arthur mix is the price. So many keto mixes, whether it's a bread mix or a pizza crust mix, they're pretty high priced. And this is only about $7 right now on Amazon for a box, which is 2 crusts. Now, if in my experiments I come up with a better way to make these, or I come up with some alternative recipe, maybe making a calzone or a stromboli or something like that, I will definitely do a video on that. If you enjoyed this video, please click that like button. If you're not a subscriber already, tap that subscribe button, then hit the bell to turn on all notifications. And if you'd like to help out the channel and get some perks in return, click that join button and see what memberships are all about. But that's it for this video. As always, thanks for watching.